Hello, everyone. Today we're going to look at Costa Rica real estate boom, where prices are going, how much you expect to pay in the main towns where we gringos go to Costa Rica to live, to retire, to work, to buy cash flow, Airbnb properties, so on. I'm Joseph with Nosara Realty Group. We are active in Toronto as a licensed realtor for over 20 years, and in Costa Rica, Tamarindo, Nosara, Playa Lagarto, Venado, Marbella, Ocional, along the coast. And today I'm going to show you a bit of research I've done regarding what are the prices in Costa Rica, what you should expect to pay in the main three areas that we deal with, the main three areas that most foreigners come to, which are Playas del Coco, Tamarindo, and Nosara. Now, there are many other areas, many other small towns, but these are kind of the three main ones along the coast if you fly through Liberia Airport. So first things first, let's introduce ourselves. We are in Costa Rica called the Nosara Realty Group, and we deal with resale properties, pre-construction, land development. This is us right here, all these smiley faces, and there'll be more. And we also have a website called the Playa Lagarto Real Estate.com, and this website has listings of mostly Playa Lagarto, but also Tamarindo and other places. So you'll see there's some villas, some land. So if you're looking for a villa or land in Playa Lagarto or the surrounding areas, including Oceana, Nosara, Venado, Marbella, Playa del Coco, and Tamarindo, come talk to us. We got lots of great product for you here, and there's even more. Okay. For the purpose of this video, I made a list, and this list is right here. Follow with me. And we're going to do a bit of research using a bit of help from AI. Now, the AI we're going to use is really just summarize documents, so save us a lot of time. So I'll jump right to it. Costa Rica real estate market 2025 to 2026, and I would say even to 2028, because I'm going to show you trends where it's going to. So the first thing you want to know is the size, population, GDP of Costa Rica, and how's Costa Rica ranking on the global scale. Now, to do this, I'm using a tool called Get Merlin, which is a multi-axis AI engine. So I can choose here all these different AI models. I'm paying for this service, by the way. All these AI models, and this gives me very good access. And I'm going to start with GPT 4.1 that seem to be doing really great. So let's ask GPT 4.1 our question. Okay, here we go. Size, population, GDP of Costa Rica. What number is Costa Rica on the global GDP scale? And go. So ChatGPT 4.1, this is the most recent one, is summarizing the question, is summarizing the result, and compiling the results all together. It's going to put the results for us, and we're going to run through these results and some more. Still thinking about it. There are 11 sources it's looking at. You can see it's looking at Costa Rica GDP, Costa Rica population, economy of Costa Rica GDP, on and on and on. But here we go. So here's a current version of Costa Rica. So land area of Costa Rica is 51,000 kilometers, 51,000 square kilometers. Population 5.15 million. It's a small country. The GDP is about 145 to 184 billion. The global GDP ranking about 66th in the world out of 192 or 93 countries, give or take. Global population ranking 127. So it's a small country. GDP is not high, but it's very diverse in terms of the people in there, the economy, the sectors, and so on. So let's dive a little deeper now, and I'm going to show you. Let's look at what we're interested in is how many gringos, how many foreigners come to Costa Rica. So the question is, how many Americans, Canadians, and Europeans reside in Costa Rica? How many are living? I'm not asking to the status if they're, just asking a general question. It's looking into demographics, history, international migration outlook. It's summarizing 11 sources. Here we go. Americans, there are approximately 70,000 to 120,000 U.S. citizens living in Costa Rica as residents, making a large expat group outside Central America. Check if you're following with me here. Yeah. Um, Canadians, about 8,000 to 15,000. We're number two here. And Europeans, 15,000 to 25. So about the same number of Canadians or Europeans. And that would make anywhere from 25 to 40,000 people. And with the Americans, you're looking at anywhere from 110, 120 to 200,000 foreigners in Costa Rica. Now, that may not sound a large number, but these are the people that spend the most amount of money, hire a lot of Costa Ricans, buy almost half of the homes. Some stats say even more than half of the homes. So this is a serious economic development engine for Costa Rica. That is another reason why recently Costa Rica increased the tourist visa from 90 days to 180 days. That gives you the ability to be a snowbird, someone who comes to Costa Rica for the winter. For 180 days, no problems. Okay. Let's see what number of homes are bought by Americans, Canadians, and Europeans in Costa Rica. Maybe I'll add in Costa Rica. So I'm asking, now that I know how many people are there, I know the GDP of Costa Rica, I know where it's located, I can see the economic engine with the foreigners, quite a few of them, relatively speaking, and now it tells me there are no official numbers. However, see, do I understand? Significant buyers. Now, I've seen stats of about 50%. Here, so to summarize, Americans by far the largest group of foreign home buyers, with Canadians and Europeans making up much smaller but still noticeable shares. In the most popular expat areas, realtors sometimes estimate the foreign nationals, largely Americans, account for as much as 70 to 80% of home purchases, but this figure is much lower nationwide and not officially confirmed. Let's repeat this question. With another AI. Let's try the Gemini 2.5 Pro from Google, and let's say if it's going to give me or source some other numbers. No, it's exact same thing, 70 to 80%. Okay, so you can expect that in areas like Playa del Coco, Tamarindo, Nosara, 70 to 80% of all the homes are owned by foreigners, mostly Americans. Now let's look at average price of homes. We're warming up here until we're going to get to the big conclusion. And I'll stay on the Gemini 2.5 Pro. What's the average price of home in Costa Rica? And really, the search engine or the AI engine doesn't matter so much here because we're compiling information. There's no intelligence involved here. Just looking at what he can find on the web that he has access to, and then he pulls it together. That's why the results are more or less the same, regardless what type of AI engine I'm asking. I got nothing here. Oh, it's still compiling results. But you will see that the prices of homes in Costa Rica really varies between the small towns and the foreigner towns. So it's going to give me the info and we're going to review it in a second. Okay. So the real estate market in Costa Rica for 2024-2025 shows considerable variation in home prices and cost per square meter influenced by location, property type, and market dynamics. That means by the coast, where the foreigners are, prices will be very high. Inland, small towns will be much, much lower. In early 2025, the median sold price for single-family home in Costa Rica was approximately $568, reflecting a significant decrease. That's from one source, and you can look at the source here, Costa Rica trends. Now this is not government trends, so we'll see. Prices. Luxury home in Guanacaste region. This is where we are, right along the coast. So average price about 1.7 million. Okay. Villas are 500 to 2 million. South Pacific region price increased by 42%. So you see the numbers are a bit off. They say there's a drop, there's an up. So take it with a grain of salt. A luxury home increased by 8% to 1.59 to 1.6 million. In Costa Balena area, part of the South Pacific, average was surpassed even more. Okay, average per square meter. So if you want to get square feet, you time that by 10.76 or by 11 if you want a quick calculation. 500 to 1300 USD per square meter. San Jose average 1110 USD per square meter. Condominiums reach 1724 square meter. And some other areas are higher or lower. The most affordable, Libon Province, 971. The average, 182. Construction costs in city centers are between 500 to 1300. So you can see developers have to put the margin on top. And building medium to high quality areas could be much slightly more expensive. And from what I see is luxury homes, and these are real numbers here, about $2,700 to $3,000 per square meter. So you're looking at 300 to 400 USD per foot for the higher end homes. Now, let me ask this same question again. Let me try go back to ChatGPT and see if it's going to give me any other information. But to summarize this thing for you, I would say that the average cost that you can expect to find in Playa del Cocos, in Tamarindo, and in Nosara, and Playa del Cocos will be the least expensive, Tamarindo in the middle, Nosara the highest prices. You're going to look at average of about 2,200 a square meter. So let's say about 250 USD a foot, up to 300, 350 USD a foot. That's what you can expect to pay for completed homes. Now, there's a lot of variation. If you have a pool, if the home is on a slope and you got to raise it and lift it and build some shoring and some returning walls. If the house is in a very humid area, you may have to do some humidity protection. If you want certain roof, if you have more windows, they're more expensive, on and on. Okay, let's see if we got the response here. And ChatGPT gives us very similar, 568, that's the average home. Luxury 1.7, and these are pretty much exact same numbers. Okay. Let's continue here and sort from low to high the average home prices in these areas: Tamarindo, Nosara, and Playas del Coco. So now we're going to get into the actual investment areas where we work, where you would probably buy property. If you're watching this from Canada, from the US, from Europe, you probably buy property in these areas. You got hospitals, you got stores, you got pharmacies, you got lots of expat communities that are there, so you can make new friends and new life in these areas. Now, a lot of people also choose to go to smaller towns because the prices are lower, but you're still in Costa Rica and you can still have a hospital around. So the next door would be Santa Cruz, Nicoya. Okay, these are medium-sized towns. And then there's a lot of small towns, even just outside of Tamarindo. You can find a whole bunch of them. And here we go. So from lowest to highest. So Tamarindo, 1,400 to 1,800 for a condo. This is dollar per square meter. So about 1,500 to 2,000 per square foot. Median home price around 550. Now in Tamarindo, consider the closer you get to the water, the price go real up. If you go a little bit back, price really drops. And here they're comparing Uvita, Ochoal, and generally lower, so much lower because these are more south, smaller towns, less serviced, more difficult to get to. Tamarindo is paved road all the way. Okay, services close to the airport, everything you need, hospital. Okay, so that's why. So Tamarindo stays up. I do not see that he gave me the price for Nosara. So let me ask average price for homes in condos in Nosara. Okay. So Nosara, $500,000 to $1 million. That's average home, and I've seen condos there for homes there for $2, $3, $4, $8 million. Okay, condos 350 to 700. Average price per meter ranges from 1,000 to 1,500. I would imagine Nosara, from what I've seen, actually closer to $2,000 to $3,000 a meter. Okay, Nosara is more expensive. And I will tell you that when I ask the same question, sometimes twice, I may get slightly different information from the AI engine. Detailed breakdown. Okay, let's see if we can get some detailed breakdown on new home construction. So from what I've looked before, there are about 4,000 new homes built in the area every year. That's not too many, or 4,000 sold. That's about 12, 13 to 15 homes a day. That's at a small number. Imagine a city like Toronto at the height of it was selling 4,000 units a month, 120 condos a day, 120 homes a day. Okay? Sometimes even more. But mind you, Toronto itself is almost double the population of the entire Costa Rica. So here we go. And this is, and then after this, I'm gonna review this and then give you a summary of what to expect. Here's a current data-driven breakdown of the latest new home construction trends and home prices in Guanacaste, Costa Rica, 2024-2025, reflecting most recent insights. New construction activity. Guanacaste region is expanding sustained levels of new home construction, particularly in popular areas like Tamarindo, Flamingo, Playa Flamingo, and Playa Hermosa. Construction permit approval remains steady, supporting ongoing developments. And I've seen numbers that the number of permits issued is 70 to 18% higher every year. That means there's 70 to 18% more homes to be constructed every year. Infrastructure improvement are a key driver, and that's why Tamarindo is so popular, or Playa del Coco, because you can drive on a paved road right from the airport. Nosara is not the case. Nosara is still a bumpy road in some ways. Home price, apartments, average apartments, also condos, almost 3,000 per square meter. Houses, 22. That's more like it, $2,200 per square meter. These are the numbers I'm seeing. And luxury villas, 1.7 million. I've seen $8 million villas also. Overall range of homes, 270. So that's a huge range, you can see. And it really depends. If you are in the touristy areas, in the foreigner areas, in the areas which are fully developed, have good roads, hospital, and city services, you can expect the price to go up. There's also more business there. And if you're in areas less services, mostly or only locals, the price will be much, much lower. Okay. I'm going to ask a couple more quick questions here. So trends in the Tamarindo prices, are you looking at, this was a quick answer, home 600,000 to $1 million, and cost 1,200 to 1,800. Remember, we just got 2,200. So you can see how you got to take all these numbers with a grain of salt, or a sack of salt. Rental returns stay attractive because Tamarindo is top destination. To tourists and digital nomads, rental returns remain strong. Many buyers purchase with the intention of short-term rentals, which supports property values. Luxury segment, price moves up and down. Be noted. Okay. How many Airbnb units are in Tamarindo? I don't know if Airbnb provides that number, but I would say it's in the hundreds. In the hundreds, and there's a lot of condos being built in Tamarindo just to house and to create cash flow properties. 1,778. Okay, so and this is So just under 2,000 units, and you would imagine there's also many other units. So easy 3,000-4,000 units in Tamarindo alone. Okay, for rental. So now that I've reviewed a bit of the Costa Rica's real estate, I'm going to give you a bit of a rundown on what I think the trends are going to be next. So, although I haven't shown you the numbers in this video, I've seen numbers that the number of permits is growing by about 17 to 18% per year. So that means that we are building 17 to 18% a year more houses in Costa Rica. Now, the overall numbers that I saw, about 4,000 permits per year, it's kind of a low number considering we have 200,000 to 250,000 Americans, Canadians, and other foreigners live in Costa Rica. So that's only 2%, 4,000 of 200,000. If you want to cater to that population only, there's probably not enough homes. And that would be a main push up, a catalyst for prices of homes and condos in Costa Rica to keep going up, simply because the supply is lower or growing slower than the demand. Now, if you travel to Costa Rica, I think you could see that. Now, you're going to have ups and downs. That's okay. That's normal. Clearly, rainy season is always down. There's less people, less transactions, and in a dry season, more people buy. They come to Costa Rica. They see what a beautiful place. They buy a property. They start thinking about it. Maybe they had a trip or somebody told them. They go down to Costa Rica for look for properties. So the prices during the wet season would be, in my opinion, slightly depressed, and sellers that advertise in wet season may say, you know what, I'll give you a price, I'll give you a discount on my cost, on my price, just take it now before the high season. Once the high season comes, I want my price up again. So if you're looking to buy in Costa Rica in the wet season, you could get lucky, okay? Nonetheless, we can expect Costa Rica real estate prices to keep going up. And as more as economies like the US or Canadians seem deemed unstable, I'm not saying they are, but some people think they are, they may want to divest and diversify their investments and buy a place in Costa Rica where they can live during the Canadian or American winter, rent it the rest of the time when they're not there, and have some cash flow coming in. A lot of these properties will sell for 50-50, means 50% deposit, 50% mortgage. So you can get and ask me about this, comment or DM me or email me, but you'll see a lot of properties in Costa Rica will break even or give you cash flow positive when you do the 50-50 deal. So 50% deposit, 50% mortgage, either from the bank, vendor take back, or you bring a line of credit from home, or you buy two families or two people, each putting half. And then the excess funds that you generate from the rental income could cover your expenses and perhaps positive cash flow for you to enjoy. Okay. Now, every property, obviously, it's different. This is not a financial advice, legal advice, accounting advice. Please speak to these people. Our job here is to find you great investments in Costa Rica and Toronto. But this video is about Costa Rica, and bring you the best investments and the best returns we can and the most